Hey guys, in this video we're going to look at graphing linear equations by finding the x and the y-intercept. To start off, we have a little bit of vocabulary, so if you do not yet have this in your notes, please take a second and jot it down. The x-intercept is the point where a line crosses the x-axis. Please remember, on your coordinate grid the x-axis runs horizontal, so any point that sits on this axis would be the x-intercept. And then your y-intercept is the point where a line crosses the y-axis. And again, the y-axis runs vertical, so wherever the line crosses through the y-axis would be your y-intercept. In order to graph using intercepts, we are actually going to find two different pieces of information. We're going to find where the line crosses the x-axis, and we'll find one point. And then we will start again and find where the graph crosses the y-axis and have a second point. So I'm going to start off finding my x-intercept. And the way I do that is I start with my linear equation, y equals 2x minus 4. If I think about my coordinate grid, I'll go back to a picture of it here. Any point that were to sit on the x-axis, no matter what that point is, would have an ordered pair with the y-coordinate being 0. So, since that's true, what I will do is I will replace the y in my equation with a 0. And it's going to look something like this. 0 equals 2x minus 4. And now what I want to do is solve the equation for x. So let me get my pen. In order to solve this, this is my basic two-step equation. I would add 4 on both sides. I'll be left with 4 equals 2x. And then to isolate x, I would divide out that 2. Whatever we do on one side, we do on the other. So I find out that x equals 2. So my first ordered pair is actually the point x is 2, y is 0. To get my y-intercept, again, I start with my original equation. So I'll start off with y equals 2x minus 4. And very similar to before, I have to think about my coordinate grid, and any point that I were to graph that sits on the y-axis, my ordered pair would have an x value of 0. So therefore, this time I am going to replace the x with a 0. And it's going to look something like this. Y equals 2 times 0 minus 4. And I see that y is already by itself on the left-hand side of the equation, so I'm going to follow order of operations and just solve the right-hand side. So I know that I would multiply first, so 2 times 0 is 0, and then I subtract, and 0 minus 4 is negative 4. So my second ordered pair has an x value of 0 and a y value of negative 4. So now what I could do is take these two ordered pairs and I can plot them onto my coordinate grid. So let me bring them down here. So my first pair was 2, 0, so that's my x-intercept sitting on the x-axis. That didn't work so well. Let's see if I could fix that. So 2, 0 is right over here. And 0, negative 4 is on the y-axis. We come down 4. And then I'm just going to draw a line going right through those 2 points. And there we have our graph based on the x and the y-intercept.